Hi guys, welcome to our first episode of the Football Talks. I'm Coach Yuri.
And I'm Coach Sam.
Welcome to our podcast. Today is our first episode. So we came with this idea of doing this podcast for spreading the message to other footballers, to other coaches, and also invite other personalities here
Yes.
to come and talk to us.
Definitely.
So we want to be we want to make it very friendly environment, so like a conversation with friends. So today in the first episode we want to introduce ourselves, okay, and explain our idea of this podcast.
Yes.
So you can add something else.
Yeah, I just want to be able to give as much free value to anyone that's working or loves football that we can give to you then by bringing in other coaches and other players and hopefully entertain you all as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so welcome. So as we said, we will be introducing ourselves. So our idea for this pilot episode, the first episode, is to be interviewing ourselves as we will be interviewing the other guests later on, right? In the next episodes.
Yeah.
And also our idea is to release one episode per week. So maybe on Wednesdays, it will be a good day for us to be, recording every week and delivering this content for free for you. All right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree. Perfect then.
So, yeah. So
Question
I will
one.
be the first guest.
Sure, yeah, definitely. Okay, so maybe just give it a bit of an introduction on you and your background in football as well.
Okay, so I'm Coach Yuri Costa. I'm from Brazil. I've been professional football player for 8 years, since I was 18. So I started my career in Brazil. And then 2 years later, I had the opportunity to come to Thailand.
Yeah.
All right, so when I was 18 and 19, I was playing in Brazil. But, in Brazil, there are so many teams, so the team that I was playing for was not even the 4th division. So the competition is very high. And I was happy to have this opportunity to play for them. Was the team that I was formed on, so I was there since the under 11s. So under 11s, under 13s, under 15s, under 17s. We were champion of our state tournament.
Yeah.
And then from that, I could go up for the professional team in the same club. So it was nice to play for 2 years there. But the expectation and the reality comes on, So for 2 years I played. To be honest, in these 2 years I don't remember receiving salaries, So it was a very hard time. But I'm thankful to my parents that they could support me, financially, and also giving me that moral support to keep going, in these 2 years.
Yeah.
And then also, like, when I have the opportunity to come here through contacts, they supported me as well. So I would not be here if it was not my parents. I need to be honest with that. Of course, a lot of hard work from me, but I need to give these credits, and also to the people that helped me to create these connections. Yeah. So after playing Brazil for 2 years, I came to Thailand. I was very young. I was 20 years old. And then when I arrived here, within a week, the transfer window closed. So it was February. Means that until June, I would not be able to sign in any team. So it was a dilemma, like, should I go back to Brazil and, try to, find another club, another team. And then I decided to stay. And then I had 2 friends that were playing in this club, Kasem Bandit, that helped me to, train first with them. And then after a week or 2, they invited me to be part of the team, receiving, very low salary, but just to be in the team, training every day. So for me, it was a good opportunity, and I did. So I played the second leg of the Thai league. Was Division 2 at the time. And then after the 6 months, we renewed the contract, and then everything was fine. And then I played until I was 26, you know. So for 6 years I played in the same team. And then I had 2 injuries on my leg, and then that made me rethink about playing football. And then I became a full-time coach. So,
Okay. Yeah.
So I think it took too long, but yeah.
No, that's
So I
good.
became coach after being in Thailand for 6 years, playing as a football player. But in this time, I was already coaching, like in a part-time.
Yeah.
You know, as a part-time. So I always loved work with kids. You know, like I see the kids, like the passion that they have is very, very unique. You know, come from deep inside. You know what I mean? They are not thinking about money, not thinking about all the glamour that comes with being a football player.
Yeah.
You know, so yes, so I had this time as a part-time, and then since I officially retired from football, I became a full-time coach at the same academy that I'm until now, Ascot Football Academy. And yeah, so that's my trajectory here until here.
Was it a difficult decision to make to stop playing and then go into full-time? Or was it easy transition?
I think I was very frustrated with the injuries, because as I said, I had 2 surgeries on my Achilles tendon. And to be honest, I didn't think that I would be back to play football as I played before. As I had 1 surgery, and then 3 months later I was feeling the same pain as I had before the surgery. So in my mind was like, oh, I did all of this for nothing, and in my mind was like, oh, I just want to get better, and okay, is it needed another surgery? So let's go for it, and then let's treat as I'm not coming back to be a professional player anymore. So I would give more time to myself, to really recover from this injury. I was even thinking like, oh, maybe if I come back to be a professional, maybe I hurt again, and then maybe I will not be able to walk, or not even be able to be a coach, a proper coach, that the way that I want, that I think of being a coach. And more than this, like, I thought that I would not be able to play football with friends. So that's my main passion, like playing football. So I just decided to stop playing. So answering your question in a faster way, no, was not easy. But in my mind, as I was very frustrated with these injuries, I was, let's say, how can I put it? Like, not easy decision, but the decision that made sense for me at the time.
Yeah.
And I don't regret stopping playing at 26 years old and becoming a coach at that age.
Yeah. Brilliant. So you said that you was playing at KBU.
Yes.
And I've been to that facility. So, and the rooms that you stay in are literally right next to the pitch, wasn't it?
Yes. For a while, yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
The dormitory, yes.
Brilliant. And so that was good for you to come into a club in Thailand that had basically facilitated everything for you to be like, have all the facilities for football, training, whatever, and then all your housing literally next to the pitch, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I was, I'd say, lucky to have these facilities, you know, because I know it's not every club in Thailand and in the world that don't have these facilities. So there we had like 2 football fields for training. We had swimming pool. We had the gym. We have the dormitory, which was next to the pitch. So it made a lot easier for all the players, to just concentrate in football, And it's not, as I said, it's not the glamorous, like that. Okay, football player, let's live in a 5-star hotel, like it's not this. But the minimum they provided, So the minimum required, it was there.
Yeah. Which of the clubs did you play for in Thailand? And maybe you could share like some experiences of like what it was like, how different it was, because I remember going from Thai League and how different it was going to Thai League 2 and Thai League 3 clubs in terms of like the quality of the pitches and the quality of the lifestyle just can change so quickly. So maybe you can share your experiences with other clubs as well.
Yes. I played for the same club for 6 years.
Oh, really?
So in Thailand, I don't know if there is another player that made it as well. In Thai League 3, I don't know any. Thai League 2 or 1 maybe, yes. Like foreigner players that played for 6 years in the same club.
Yeah.
So I don't really know much about other clubs, but in terms of facilities, as I could see by going to play away matches, so it's very different from each club, you know. But I could say that the club provided everything that was needed, you know. And back then it was 2012, so 11 years ago was a different reality as well in Thailand. You know, in terms of organization, in terms of, you know, facilities, in terms of standard, you know. So sometimes let's say we used to play at SCG, Monton, and then next game was in the middle of nowhere, you know. So away team, you know, so was very different, the standard of the clubs, you know. I think it started changing in 2018, was the year that I stopped playing. I could start seeing the differences. Like they started creating this standard of quality, you know, like all the football pitches should have certain, you know, type of organization, you know, like before the matches, after matches. Was at the time they did the Division 2 turned to Thai League 3, and then they did the North group and the South group. Yeah. So I think that point it was getting better, you know, in terms of organization and standard. But unfortunately, 2 years later, COVID came, and then I think this was a really bad time for the, you know, lower divisions. No?
Yeah.
The higher divisions, they suffer, but imagine the lower ones, you know. So they came back to this format of Thai League 3 with regional, you know, groups. Mm-hmm. So it makes like a lot of teams with different standards, you know. So I think back then in 2018, the clubs, as in the Thai League 3 was less clubs. I think that were the clubs that were more organized, you know, like. So yeah, so this is what I could share.
Okay. So what are your future plans then? So you've been a professional footballer, you've transitioned into professional football coach. What are your plans then going forwards from there?
Well, my plans are to get better as a football coach. You know, I think we always are open for, you know, improvement. You know, we should always want to improve. You know, so especially working with kids, young kids that have that dream. You know, that passion for football. I think we as a coach, we have this mission of always deliver the best possible. You know, we know that sometimes, you know, we have a group of kids that they don't really want to be a football player. They just want to play football. Yeah, you know, it's different. It's different. You know, so we need to be able to adapt to this situation. So the more we learn, the more we are open to this environment. You know, helps us to improve as a coach. So my goal is to keep improving. You know, keep working with young kids. Like, I love working with under 11s, 13s, 15s, 17s that are passionate about football and they really want to go further in football. So I think that's my plans, you know. And I'm very happy with what I do, you know. So yeah, so that's my plan.
Have you ever thought about coaching first team level or senior level football? Do you ever have that sort of aspirations as well?
I think we all dream, you know, like when we are player, we always dream to play Real Madrid, Barcelona, you know. And when we become a coach, we always, of course, we think about, oh yes, let's get that first team, you know, like we have 20 staff working for us, you know, like helping us in the daily, you know, routine. But I think it is the top 0.0001% that gets this. Yes, I thought of in the beginning, but for now, as I'm, you know, 31 years old, when I started being a football coach, I was 26. So I think age is a number, yes, but I think you should have more experience, to deal with old players, like not old play, older players, because if you are 30 in the squad, there will be like 32, 33, 34 years old, like men, you're not dealing with kids anymore. So I think this transition from working with kids to work with adults, men, professional, I think you should get some experience, not some, a lot of experience to deal with, But now, as I can speak for now, I don't think, because I really like to work with kids, as I mentioned before, kids that want to improve, that want to go further in football, that are willing to listen and try to improve, So sometimes maybe like you get a professional player, like that don't, like they are just football players, they are not athletes.
Yeah.
So in football, like more than everything, like okay, you need to be good on the ball, good, like tactically, but physically is very important as well for you to be an athlete, not just play football.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this is one thing that I regret, but that I could do better when I was football player. I was playing football, but I was never an athlete. I thought I was an athlete, but looking now as a coach, our vision changed. Yeah. So I see that I could do much better in terms of taking care of myself, like studying about football, watching more stuff of football.
Yeah.
So I think today as I produce content for YouTube, I watch a lot of YouTube, videos, ideas, training, strategies. So maybe if I had, done this before, as when I was football player, maybe let's say my IQ could be higher, you know what I mean? So yeah, but yeah, for now I don't really aim to coach a first team, but okay, but let's say tomorrow a big club approach, and then okay, it's not the reality, but I would not say no.
Yeah,
you know
never
what I mean?
say never. Right?
But it's not what I aim for now. Now,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, brilliant. So playing football, like throughout your whole life, you've experienced being coached by, several different people throughout, from such a young age all the way through to senior career. How has that shaped you? So have you taken things from other coaches that you've been coached?
Yes.
So talk about like how that shaped your coaching career then.
I used to say that me as a coach today, I think let's say 70%, 80% is similar to what I was in this environment, like from my coaches, especially when I was in the youth teams, so I had so many good coaches in Brazil, coaches that were professional. They played in big clubs in Brazil, they played in Asia, they played abroad, so, and the way that they used to coach us, to coach me and my friends, I think I have a lot of them in me today, nowadays, and one thing that I remember is that much more than football, they teach me much more than football, like values out of the pitch. In the pitch, yes, but out of the pitch. I think this is in me, they shaped me as a human being, as an adult, so I'm very grateful to have them in my youth time, and I try to be similar, yes, but putting my own sauce as well,
Yeah.
So yes, I would say more than 70% is like them, especially in Brazil. Here was like it's harder because of the language as well. Like in the beginning, I couldn't speak English or Thai, and the communication was an issue, But yes, I had great coaches in Brazil. Everything I know about playing, is from them. I can guarantee, And as a coach, yes, they shaped me as well as a coach. And as we study, as we get more experience, and then we can add our own sauce, as I said. Yeah, but absolutely, like, they shaped me, more than football.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think that's the responsibility that sometimes gets overlooked as football coaches, isn't it? Like how much that can shape a young person. Then, not even just on the pitch, right? It's just like outside the pitch. You can develop so many things and take it from your life and in on and off the field as well.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
So it's a good point. I've seen a lot of your stuff on YouTube before we started doing this. Before we was talking, what was the motivation behind YouTube and content creating as a whole, and maybe talk about like your goals with that as well.
Yes, like I think internet nowadays gives us an opportunity to reach people from everywhere in the world, So, and we as well, we can be reached by anyone in the world as well, just by searching on YouTube, on Google, like Instagram. Yeah. But yes, so my main goal was like reaching, broad, like more people with my content. I think I can help more people than I can do in 24 hours, like in this, magic of like creating something that will be there forever. So I think it's amazing, like if you deliver the right message, I think you can add value to people's life, like to footballers in my case that I talk about, young football players, coaches, parents as well of football players that wants their kids to improve.
Yeah.
So I think like my main idea was like, as I'm not being arrogant at all, but I think what I deliver to the kids, I think not so many coaches can do, again, like I can use my experience as a football player and as a coach to deliver something different, like I think is different, so I think is a good message that I deliver. So the idea of delivering the same idea to people everywhere in the world, I think is amazing. So that was my main idea on creating like my YouTube channel. Like before I was only with Instagram, and then I love internet. I love YouTube. I love like social media. I'm the kind of the guy that when I was single, now I'm married, so a kiss for you, my wife. Love you. She supports me so much, so I'm very grateful that she supports me, that much. So my message with only Instagram, I think I couldn't reach that many people as I can with YouTube, with TikTok, with Reels. Nowadays, another tool that I use a lot. But many people think it's only about numbers. I don't think it's only about numbers. Like, I would rather have like 1,000 followers that I can help, rather than have 100 that I don't add any value to their lives, So I think it's not about numbers. I think it's about helping people, maybe shaping someone else's life in football and outside of the pitch as well.
Definitely. Yeah.
So I think that was my main goal, on creating content to the internet, like, and also many things together, like also like about communication, for me it's not easy for me to be here speaking in English, like, so it helps me, it forces me, it puts me not in a comfort zone, to be speaking to the camera, sometimes I struggle, so it's a thing that can help me as a person as well, and improving me as a person. I can deliver a better message to my players, to people that I deliver content to. So I think it's a win-win situation. So yes, when I had this idea, when I realized, I was like, oh, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
So,
good. That's a good story. Maybe you can touch on some of the challenges you faced then being a football coaches? Maybe share some experiences.
Yes, I think one big challenge, it's a daily challenge, that we face as a coach, is changing the mentality of the players, So, especially in our academy, we are inside in a school, international school. So they study the whole day. They arrive at 7 a.m. at the school. They leave at 3 p.m. So they are with their friends, their classmates, for this amount of time. And then 4 p.m. we start training. But 4 p.m. I'm there as a football coach. I'm not there as a teacher. I'm not there as a uncle, as a friend. Yeah. I'm a football coach. I want them to deliver, I want them to respond to what I planned for the session. I want them to improve as a football player, So I think this change in this situation, in this specific situation, is like changing from the student to the football player.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the biggest challenge that I face every day, And if we don't think about school, making them change the mentality of like they are just playing football to they are training football.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the main thing that challenged me as a coach, to try to focus every day on what am I going to coach today, what should I do differently. They are not understanding this, so how should I approach, how should I, plan my sessions, and more than this, I think also the parents. I think we have a very different generation of parents as well,
yes.
Players and parents.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes parents that really put a lot of expectation on the child, but the child is 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know if this kid, when in 5 years, we don't know how they will play. We don't know how motivated this kid will be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I face this challenge as well of trying to make the kid understand that, the parent wants their best, but sometimes it's hard even to say, you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
You can have the feedback from your parents, but in the pitch, is you and the coach.
Yeah.
And the parents, they don't know what we are telling to the kids, sometimes the parents expect too much from the kid. Now, I'm not saying that the kid is a bad player, but let's say the kid is an amazing defender, the best defender of the team.
Yeah.
But the parents expect the kid to get the ball, dribble everyone, and then score 20 goals in a match. So this is not the reality.
Mm-hmm.
If I put this kid as a striker, he will not perform as good as he does when he's a defender. So I think those two are the main challenges that I face as a coach. Changing the mentality of the players from just coming to have fun, to have a good time playing football with friends, to being a football player. Because that's how I was when I was 13, 14, 15. I was thinking already about I was thinking as a football player already. For me it was have the passion, have the joy of playing football, but I was thinking already as a football player.
Yeah.
So since I was 13, 14, 15, so I think the earlier you can switch this in your mind,
mm-hmm.
the better you can react to the situations that comes.
Agreed. And I'd like to touch on the point that you made then about putting pressure on the young children.
Mm-hmm.
So for you, I had this conversation with my friend Elias before, and he said he almost stopped playing football at a young age because he didn't have fun anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't fun for him.
Yes.
So, but look at him now. He's an international footballer. He's played so many caps for Thailand. And how much emphasis do you put on children having fun first, or how important do you think that is in playing football in development?
So always when I plan my trains, right, my training sessions, I always try to think as a player. You know, I think would I have fun doing this? You know, but fun in a way, not like, okay, so we lose and then, you know, everybody's happy. No, not like this. Like having fun as a player. How would I be happy and having fun training this drill? You know, I always ask myself, like, so what I tell them is like to learn how to have fun by being competitive, you know, by trying their best, you know, by trying to win the matches, the drills, the 2v2, 3v3, you know, the rondos. Try to have fun by not going in the middle, by not losing the ball, by not missing the pass, you know. I think because I was like this, like I had fun with the boring stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like I had fun by, okay, it's an endurance test. So I was having fun by doing the best, being the first one, second one, third one.
Yeah.
Like, okay, top 3, nice. You know.
Yeah.
So I think it's a big challenge to change it. You know, like to make them understand. You know that every second on the pitch is a competition. You know.
Yeah.
Them against themselves and them against not really against like in this way of thinking, but like they need to fight for their position in the team.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
So you need to have fun by improving, by competing every day. You know, like this is what I try to tell them in the sessions. You know, like and this is a challenge for me to design, like to plan the trainings like in a way that they would have fun by competing, by also having fun in like, okay, scored 5 goals, yes, nice. So I always try to push this from them.
Yeah. So you grew up in Brazil, South America. I grew up in the UK, England. I feel like we grew up with similar but very different paths. So it'd be interesting to know like what advice you would give, having, you know, walked your path, to young players and amateur players and wanting to get better, improve, and then maybe step into the professional game as well.
Well, similar to what I just mentioned, like try to understand as fast as you can that at some point it will not be only fun in football. If you aim to be a professional player, you know, if you aim to, you know, go further in football, so the earlier you understand this, the earlier you understand that yes, you need to work harder, harder than yourself than what you did yesterday. This sounds like a, you know, I'll not say a bad word, but sounds like a silly way to say, okay, it's just like a quote on TikTok, you know, like quote on Facebook, on Instagram, you know. But it's true. Like you need to try to improve every day. Every day you need to try to improve, try to, you know, okay, if you achieve something, try to keep it and then improve next day, improve next week, you know, like. I think this is a thing that I would say that like the earlier you understand these things, you know, the earlier you understand that you don't need a coach to be on your ears, shouting on your ears for you to give your best, you know. The earlier you understand that yes, you need to work hard on your physical, you know. The earlier you understand that yes, maybe I need to, I don't know, maybe okay, I need to lose some weight, okay, so I need to do more cardio, you know. You don't need to wait for people tell you what to do, because you know already what you need, you know, like. So okay, let's say thinking back of myself as a player, maybe I wanted to be better, like physically, I wanted to run the 90 minutes. So thinking now, I knew what I should have done, but it's hard to, you know, like to have this feeling of, you know, like of okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, and do consistently, you know. So that's what I would say, like from my background, as you said, growing up in Brazil, like I've seen so many good players just getting complacent, you know, like okay, I'm too good, I don't need to work hard, you know, I just work okay, you know, like average. So these guys are out of the game, you know, because there will be people working much harder than them, much harder, you know. And yeah, that's what I would say, like the earlier you understand these things, you know, that we are talking here, the better for you to improve as a football player, as a potential professional player.
How do you Just thinking about what you were saying then, like, as a young player, I think talent can make you shine out early on.
Yes.
But then it gets to an age, you know, as you get a bit older, teenagers,
Yes.
when then that talent slows down and then the hard work goes up.
Yes, yes.
And then that plays on the fact that you do a lot of private trainings and small group sessions on the side of the academy.
Yes.
How important is it to do the extra work?
Yes. What I see is like when we are training in a group, like the coach will not be with his eyes on you the whole time. You know, so let's say there are 20 players, so the coach is aiming for the team. You know, the drills are like for the team. You know, like they are overviewing the whole team. You know, so let's say we have a shooting drill. So if you have 20 players, so maybe one player you shoot what? Maybe 5 balls, 10 balls. You know, so in the private trainings, the same player can shoot 50 balls. 100 balls, 50 balls with your right, 50 balls with your left.
Yes.
You know, so this extra work is very important because is a complement from the group training. It's a complement. Nah? What I've seen, a few players, a few parents thinking that only individual training will make your kid better. You know, but I think it's both together. The group training is more important. I believe that in that.
Yeah.
Because it gives you, because individual training is you and the ball, is a technical training. So if you want to improve your technique, yes, private training, yes. But you need to improve as well as a team, you know. So in the tactical sense, you know, like in the physical sense, like when you train alone, you don't have any comparison, you know. So in the group training, there will be 20 players together, you know. So it's both together. Yes, it's very important to do private trainings to improve your technique, you know. Sometimes that touch, that control, you know, maybe you are struggling with the long balls, you know. So okay, let's do 50 balls, boom, boom, boom. And I've seen so much improvement on players, on good players. It's not only for like, oh, if you don't know how to play, let's do individual training. No, really good players. One of the best ones in the academy. I've done some private trainings, and then you can improve specific things. You know, specific things that are not covered 100% in the group training. You know? So it's a mix. You know.
And I think it complements well to what you were saying earlier about you know, in the modern game, you've got to be an athlete as well.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
that extra work on top of your technical team, but the athlete has to come out as well.
And like it's a very mental thing as well. Like, for example, I have one of the best players of the academy coming on Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to train. So before every session, I always congratulate him. Like, oh, it's amazing because in your mind, it's like you are winning already. So all the other players, they are sleeping, they are playing video games, they are, you know, like eating not so healthy, and you are here training. So in your mind, it will play a game, you know, in your mind that you are winning, that you are improving. And this makes a huge difference, you know. So, and the way they train as well, in the private trains, when they understand this, is different, you know. Like they really know that, okay, I'm here like because I want to improve. I asked this question, why you are here? Why are we here? So why we are not at home sleeping? Why I'm not with my wife? Why we are not playing video game at home, you know? And then the answer that I want and that I get is like, because I want to improve. So okay, so we are on the same page. So I can push this kid, I can push this player. So I know that he'll deliver, he'll try his best. You know? And this affects in the group training because, you know, when I'm with him in the group training, I can see him different. You know, like, oh, this player was here Saturday morning training. So if he doesn't really push himself in the train, it's easier for me to catch him. You know, like, oh, why we train hard for 1 hour, 1 hour and a half last Saturday, and then now is the time to do. It's not on Saturday as well, but here's the time to perform. Because we are with the other players, you know. So thank you guys for listening to me. Okay, So our first episode. So later on we will be interviewing Coach Sam. I hope you guys are liking. So it's very. I thought I would be nervous, like more nervous, but it's very like relaxed.
Yeah,
talking.
natural.
You know,
that's
sometimes I even forget that there's a camera.
Yeah.
So it looks like a conversation between us.
Yeah.
But I hope you guys see value, you know, on the things that we talk, you know, like, and we are going to invite more like people that plays for the national team, people with a lot of experience in Thailand, foreigners, Thai players, Thai coaches, foreigner players that have been here in Thailand for a long time. Yeah. So I think we can share this idea, you know, more deeply inside, you know. So yeah. So if you're liking the content, make sure you subscribe, you like the video, you share with your teammates, you know. So yeah, so let's keep going.
Yeah.
Thank you so far.
And make sure you comment below if there's anyone that you do want us to get on. Comment below as well.
We'll chase this person.
We'll chase them, yeah.
Yes.